Hi everyone, this is Ravi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. As you all know, I have been teaching and publishing lot of automation concepts by using traditional tools like Selenium, Playwright, Cypress and so on. And also, I've been teaching and publishing lot of YouTube videos on latest low-code, no-code platforms like Test Tosca, Catalan Studio, and Keysight Eggplant, and so on. I've been receiving lot of requests from my subscribers to explore more towards the generative AI based test automation tools. I've been researching in the market. I found two great tools. One is Test Trigger and the other one is Playwright MCP. I've already started publishing series of YouTube videos for generative AI based automation tool called Test Trigger. You can find the link for the playlist in the description, and also another great tool called Playwright Model Context Protocol, nothing but Playwright MCP. So by using Playwright MCP, you can perform wipe testing, nothing but you can simply prompt the natural language to automate your test cases with the help of Copilot and the Playwright MCP. I've already published my first YouTube video where I have introduced you to LLMs, agents, and Playwright MCP. I have explained all these concepts in my first lesson. I would recommend you guys to visit my first lesson before you watch this session. Please do subscribe to the channel, click on bell icon, you will receive notifications whenever I publish more videos. Don't forget to like and share the video. Thank you. This is our lesson 2, which is very important session. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how can we install and set up the GitHub Copilot, and how can we install and set up Playwright, and then how can we install and set up Playwright MCP server so that we can start automating our test cases by using a plain English language prompting. So that means we are going to start performing vibe testing with the help of Copilot and the Playwright MCP server. So now let us jump onto the system and see how can we install all these components: Copilot, Playwright, and then Playwright MCP server. First, we're going to start installing the GitHub Copilot. To install the GitHub Copilot, the precondition is you need to have an IDE. So in my case, I'm using the IDE called Visual Studio Code. Let us go to Visual Studio Code. So this is my Visual Studio Code. First, what I'm going to do, I'm going to open a local folder in Visual Studio Code. So this is my Visual Studio Code. I'm going to click Open Folder, and then let me navigate to the Visual Studio Code projects. So this is my path where I'm going to create a new folder. Right click, new, and then name this as Playwright MCP. I'm naming the project as a Playwright MCP. Now I'm selecting the folder that I have created and click on select folder. This will open the folder in my Visual Studio. So currently my folder is empty, right? So now my empty folder is being opened in my Visual Studio Code. To install the GitHub Copilot, first we need to go to extensions. So where are the extensions? These are my extensions. This is your icon, extensions icon. Click on this extensions icon and here type GitHub Copilot. You need to search GitHub Copilot. So here this is your first link that you can see, because who created this GitHub Copilot? This is created by GitHub itself. So select this GitHub Copilot and then click on install. As soon as you click on install, it's going to start installing the GitHub Copilot extension. So now I can see my GitHub Copilot extension is installed. So let me go back to my folder structure. Let me go back to Explorer. So let me close this one. So now my GitHub Copilot extension is installed. Let me restart my Visual Studio Code. So if you see here, let me just minimize this GitHub Copilot so that you can see the bottom here. So if you see here, the bottom right corner, I can see a GitHub icon here. Okay. So if you see, when I hover on the GitHub icon, it says you are not signed into GitHub. Please sign in to use Copilot. So that means my Copilot extension is now available. So let me go to presentation. So now we have completed installing the GitHub Copilot. Navigate to GitHub Copilot, sign in and authenticate GitHub. So let's click on this particular icon. And as soon as you click on this icon, it will ask you to allow. The extension GitHub Copilot wants to sign in using GitHub. Let us click on allow. And now it will ask you to authenticate the GitHub to continue to access in Visual Studio Code. I'm going to provide my credentials of my GitHub. And click on continue. I'm signing as myself. Click on continue. And now open Visual Studio Code. What it does, now we have given an access to open my GitHub Copilot in Visual Studio Code. So now if I go here to the same Visual Studio Code icon, now it is not prompting me to sign in, right? If you click on this, now I can see the status is ready. That means I can start using the GitHub Copilot. And now you can see here GitHub Copilot chart. You need to click on this GitHub Copilot chart. So now your GitHub Copilot chart is integrated to your Visual Studio Code. So now you can ask Copilot using 3 different options. That means you can perform natural language prompting with the help of Copilot by using 3 options. One is ask, edit and agent. What do you mean by that? So here right side I have already opened my Copilot. So you can open the Copilot in 2 ways. One is you can directly open the chart here, or the second one is you can see second Copilot icon, show Copilot menu and open from this particular place. So I'm going to show my first method. I'm going to show the first method. Click on this Copilot icon, click on open chart. So when you are prompting the English language by using Copilot, you can use 3 different options. You can see here my first option is ask, second option is agent mode, third option is edit mode. So to perform the automation by using Playwright MCP, it is recommended to use the agent mode. That means you're going to provide the prompts in agent mode with the help of Copilot. Now let us go back to our slide. So we have completed installing GitHub Copilot, and then our next task is to install the Playwright. So to install the Playwright, you can use npm init playwright latest. So it's going to install the latest version of your Playwright. Let us go to Visual Studio Code. So here now I need to open the terminal. To open the terminal, go to terminal, click on new terminal. Here I'm going to provide the command npm init playwright latest. I'm going to say npm init playwright latest. Hit enter. This will start installing your Playwright. So here, do you want to proceed? Yes. It found the latest version called 1.17.136, right? And now it is asking you Do you want to initialize the project with TypeScript or JavaScript? I'm going to go with the default TypeScript. Hit enter. Where do you want to put end-to-end tests? I'm going to use tests itself. Hit enter. And add a GitHub action workflow. You want to add, you can add, or you can go with the default as false. I don't want to add GitHub workflows for now. Hit enter. Install Playwright browsers. Yes, I would like to install the Playwright browsers. Why? And now it is initializing and installing the Playwright browsers. It's going to install your Chromium, Edge, your Safari, all those packages. You can see added 3 packages here. And you can see here it is downloading the browsers. First browser is Chromium browser, it is downloading. And then it is also downloading Chromium headless shell. Now it started downloading Firefox for you. And it started downloading WebKit as well. WebKit nothing but it's a Safari browser. So now your Playwright installation is completed. You can see here now it is giving you some instructions here. So you can use the following commands here. See, it says you can use all these commands in your Playwright. npx Playwright Test to run end-to-end tests. npx Playwright Test -- UI, which starts the interacting with UI mode. And then you can see here npx Playwright Test -- project equal to Chromium. That means you're going to run your tests only on desktop Chrome, right? So these are all the different commands that you can use by using Playwright. Let us go to slide. So we have completed installing the Playwright. Better we also install the Playwright Test for VS Code. Why? If you want to avoid prompting the commands to run your tests, you can install this Playwright Test for VS Code, which gives you an interface to run your tests. Let us go to extensions. These are my extensions, and type Playwright Test for VS Code. Playwright Test for VS Code. See here, this is your Playwright Test for VS Code. Click on this. If you see here, this is already installed. For me, this particular component is already installed. If you close this one, let us go to here. Here I can see a module called run and debug. That means by using this module, I can directly run my tests, Playwright tests. I need not to use any command in the terminal. I can use this particular module to run my tests. So there is another module called testing. If you click on this testing, here you can find your test and you can start running the test. So this is my first test. If I click on play, then it's going to start running your test, right? So that means I'm not using any commands in terminal to run my test. I don't need to use npx Playwright Test. Instead, I can come here and then run my test. Okay, so that is the advantage of your Playwright Test for VS Code, which is optional. So once you complete installing Playwright and Playwright Test for VS Code, and then it comes to installing the Playwright MCP server, which is very important. Installing Playwright Model Context Protocol, which is a very critical component to automate your test cases by using simple English language prompts or by using simple natural language prompts. Okay, so let us install Playwright MCP server now. To install Playwright MCP server, you need to navigate to this particular URL. So this is the URL that you need to land on. So this is official Microsoft Playwright MCP GitHub location. So this is where you can find the release notes for Playwright MCP. A model context protocol server that provides browser automation capabilities using Playwright. This server enables LLMs to interact with web pages through structured accessibility snapshots, bypassing the need for screenshots or visually tuned models. So I have explained you what do you mean by LLMs, what do you mean by agents, what do you mean by Playwright MCP in earlier session. As I told you in earlier session, LLM cannot interact with your browser by itself. So this LLM needs a support of Playwright MCP. LLM can provide you the prompts and the explanation, but to interact with your browser, you need Playwright MCP. So Playwright MCP provides the browser automation capabilities using Playwright. What are the key features? The key features are fast and lightweight, uses Playwright's accessibility tree, not pixel based input, LLM friendly, no vision models needed, operates purely on structured data, right? And then deterministic tool application, avoids ambiguity common with screenshot based approaches. So if you scroll down here, so here is you can get started. First, install Playwright MCP server with your client. Either you can copy this particular code as is and paste this particular code in your Visual Studio settings, or you can directly use all these methods. Your first method is install server VS Code, or your second method is install server VS Code Insider. I'm going to use the first method. Click on this particular button, install server VS Code, and it will prompt you open Visual Studio Code. As soon as you click on open Visual Studio Code, this will open the Visual Studio Code with your Playwright MCP. So here you can see now, this is my Playwright MCP. You can see what is the argument? @playwright /mcp latest. That means as soon as you click on this button, it's going to install the latest Playwright MCP. Click on install. So it started installing your Playwright MCP. So now our Playwright MCP has been installed. If you see here at the bottom here in the chart, Copilot chart, you can see a menu called Configure Tools. Click on Configure Tools. So this opens all your tools that are available, right? I'm talking about the bottom here in the Copilot chart. Here there is an option called Configure Tools. As soon as you click on that Configure tool, you will land here. You can see if you scroll down here, now I can see MCP server Playwright. So I have all these tools available, right? MCP Playwright server has all these options, browser click, right? All these things, right? So if I want to see where is this my MCP server, to start and stop the MCP server, what is the procedure that we need to follow? For that, what we need to do, Control Shift P, which opens your command palette, right? Here you can see MCP list servers, right? So you need to click on MCP list servers. So here it says your Playwright is running global in code. That means your Playwright MCP server is running in Visual Studio Code. When I select this one, so you can see your MCP server is running. That's why you have an option to stop server, restart server, or show configuration. So now I would like to go to show configuration. As soon as you open show configuration, it opens mcp.json file. So here you can see there is an option which shows stop, restart. So my MCP server is running. I can stop, I can stop the MCP server from here and I can start the MCP server from here. Okay, so now I stopped it and then I can start the MCP server. See, now my MCP server is running. How did I navigate it to this particular JSON file? Control Shift P, which opens your command palette in Visual Studio, and you can see list servers. As soon as you click on list servers, it will show you Playwright is running in Visual Studio Code. Select that particular option. It will show you stop server. You can directly stop the server from here. Restart the server. You can directly restart the server from here. Or you can go to show configuration, which will navigate to mcp.json file. So from here, you can either stop and start your MCP server. Now we have installed the GitHub Copilot, we have installed the Playwright, and then we have installed the Playwright server as well. We are now ready to use our MCP server to automate the test cases with the simple natural English language prompts. So as soon as, one thing you need to remember, as soon as you install your MCP server, you should see the configure tools. Under configure tools, you should be able to see all your commands under MCP server Playwright. Right? Now you can start prompting the English language in your Copilot to automate the test cases. So now you can see the magic of your test automation by using MCP server, model context protocol server of your Playwright. So in my next session, I'm going to show you how can we automate your test cases with vibe testing, which means we are going to provide a simple natural English language prompts in Copilot, and this Copilot takes the help of MCP server to interact with the browser and to automate the test cases with simple natural language prompts. If you have any queries, leave your queries in the comment box. I'll try to respond to your queries. Thank you. Hope you all understand the concepts of today's lesson, where I've showed you how can we install the Copilot and how can we install and set up Playwright and Playwright MCP server with the help of Visual Studio Code. So in my upcoming lesson, we are going to see the magic of Playwright MCP, where we are going to start performing the vibe testing with Copilot, where we are going to use simple English prompts in Playwright MCP to automate your test cases. So you will see the magic of Playwright MCP in my next lesson. Please do subscribe to the channel, click on bell icon. You will receive notifications whenever I publish more videos. Don't forget to like and share the video. Thank you.